Welcome to CIS 519 Decision Support Systems. My name is Dr. H.Schuessler, and this is Introductions and Syllabus. In a traditional classroom, we would normally have time to kind of sit down and see each other and talk to each other and kind of introduce each other and step through the syllabus. And since we don't really have that opportunity, I decided to kind of create this video to kind of do just as much of that as I could in this environment. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. As I said, my name is Dr. H.Schuessler. I grew up in Denton, Texas. I'm originally from Oklahoma. My dad's actually from Texas, and when I was about 6 months old, we moved to Denton so that he could attend what was then North Texas State University to work on his doctorate degree. So as I said, my dad's from Texas, my mom's from Oklahoma, so you can imagine what Texas OU weekends were like at the Schuessler household. So I've been here ever since I was about 6 months old. I went to elementary school there in Denton, went to junior high there in Denton, and actually met my wife in 9th grade there. Didn't actually know that for 20 some odd years, but I did. Went to high school at Denton back when there was just one high school there. I played soccer, was interested in architecture and stuff like that. Went to UT Arlington for 1 year out of high school and decided that civil engineering was not the degree for me, so I ended up moving back to Denton and attending UNT, North Texas State University, after they changed their name, and received 4 degrees from North Texas, BBA in Strategic Management, an MBA in Business Computer Information Systems, an MS in Information Technology, and a PhD in Business Computer Information Systems. I have 3 computer certifications, A+, Network Plus, and Security Plus. I'm interested in other certifications as well, especially as they relate to security. But as an assistant professor, there are just too many demands on my time. I simply don't have time to study adequately to go after any of those certifications. I hope that changes someday. It's definitely an interest of mine. As I said, I'm an assistant professor here at Tarleton State University. My first year after completing my PhD, I taught for 1 year at Bloomsburg University in Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania. Taught for 1 year at Eastern New Mexico University in a tenure track position. But then a position opened up here at Tarleton State, and had an opportunity to get a little closer to home, and I went to school with a friend here. So it was a great opportunity, so I'm glad to be back here. And just about to start my 3rd year here at Tarleton. I've got a few resources there. My personal website does tend to be a little slow in terms of responsiveness. It's a cheap server that it's being hosted on, but there's some classroom material there that you can certainly access and use. There's PowerPoints, there's previous projects, for example, some videos and so on. There's a YouTube channel that I have. There's a variety of different videos that are posted there for various classes. You can certainly take a look at that. And then I've got a Twitter feed that you can follow as well if you're interested. Okay, so the syllabus. You can see there at the top there is no class meeting time or venue. It's an online class. My information, I'm an assistant professor. As far as email, I really want you to send any course-related emails through Blackboard to me. I try to keep everything all in one place there in Blackboard. If it doesn't have to do with the course, it's more interest, personal interest, things of that nature, certainly shoot me an email to my traditional email, schuessler@tarleton.edu. The textbook that we'll be using there, well, actually, let me back up just a second. My office phone, I don't come to the office all that often, and phone is absolutely the worst way to get a hold of me. So shoot me an email. That's definitely the best way. There are no official office hours during the summer. We're not required to keep them, and honestly, the schedules the way they are, it would be too hard to keep anyway. So there are no actual office hours. If you need to get in touch with me, certainly email me. The textbook, Managerial Decision Modeling with Spreadsheets. That's the book that we'll be using, and I've got a link to the publisher's website for this book right there. You can take a look at that for some additional information, additional material. Course description, straight out of the catalog, so no surprises there. Prerequisites, none. One of the things I like to do in my syllabi is to provide you with information about the field as it relates to the profession. I go to the Bureau of Labor Statistics and try to pull a lot of that information about pay and work environment and all that kind of stuff. And that's what I've provided here, and this is directly from the Bureau of Labor Statistics website. Important qualities, analytical skills, communication skills, etc., and so on. Job outlook, job prospects, pay, all that kind of stuff. Now, if you are not currently working and you will be graduating soon, in addition to that type of information, I would encourage you to contact Career Services. Elena Hefner is the director over there, and there's her contact information. Contact them. There's a variety of things that they can do for you over there. They can help you to refine your resume. They can help you to practice your interviewing skills. They can help you create a digital resume or a virtual resume, if you will. Essentially, it's a process where you'll sit down in front of a camera, they'll ask you questions, and it allows you to create a video resume that goes online. But what's really cool about it is they spend a lot of time working with you and editing the video to make it a very professional looking video. So if you're a little nervous about that, they certainly will work with you to make sure that it looks like a top-notch production. So I would encourage you to utilize those resources if that's the position that you find yourself in, not having a job and getting close to graduation. As a CIS student, after the add drop period, you will receive an email at your Go account, your go.tarleton.edu account, that allows you to download software as part of as a student, since we're part of the Microsoft Academic Alliance. They give us a lot of software to provide for you. Unfortunately, it does not include Microsoft Office. It does, however, include Microsoft Visio and Microsoft Project, both of which are very important in many of your CIS classes. So I would certainly take advantage of that. Take a look at those, and there's a lot of other packages that they have available. Take a look, see if there's anything of interest to you, and take advantage of it. It's there for you. Course goals, boilerplate stuff there. What most students are interested in are the course deliverables and exams. So your course grade will be a composite of your individual performance on assessments, assignments, participation, your component of a semester project, and then exams. The assessments or quizzes are really just designed to make sure that you're staying current and making sure you're not falling behind. They're not really designed to assess where you currently stand or your level of understanding in the course. So keep that in mind. With the exception of Quiz 0 or Assessment 0, they're all true-false questions. The Quiz 0 is actually true-false and multiple choice, and it's over the syllabus. All the others are directly from the text. You're limited to 5 minutes on those quizzes. Keep in mind it is not an exercise in looking up the answers. So I want you to review the PowerPoints. I want you to do the homework. I want you to look at the discussion boards, all that kind of stuff before you do that. Before you panic too much, keep in mind I dropped the 2 lowest quiz scores. So if you have some sort of a technical problem, or you simply do poorly on a quiz, or you forget to take a quiz, don't panic. Just realize I dropped the lowest 2 quiz scores. Also, all the quizzes are open day 1. They're already open. You can take every quiz today if you wanted to. So as a result, I don't take any late work. Those quizzes will drop off after they pass the due date. They will no longer become available, or no longer be available for you to take. So keep that in mind. The assignments are something similar. They're already all available. They're all posted right now. You could start doing them all right now if you wanted. After the due date passes, they're no longer available, so you can't submit them anymore. Several of them, or most of them, if not all of them, will require submission of an Excel spreadsheet with the work done in that Excel spreadsheet. For those that ask you to graphically draw something or create a manual drawing, you can either do that and scan it and paste it into your Excel spreadsheet if you want, or you can manually create it in the Excel spreadsheet yourself if that's something you prefer to do. All the assignments are pretty much like that, with the exception of Assignment 0. Assignment 0 really just requires you to submit on Blackboard the information sheet, the honor code, and a digital photo of yourself. The digital photo is just a way for me to associate a name with a face in my gradebook. It doesn't get used for anything else. It's just, like I said, it's a way for me to associate a name with a face. Participation, and I'll come back to this top part here in just in a little bit when we start talking about due dates and all that kind of stuff. Assignment 0 is due Sunday, June 9th at 11:59 p.m. Participation. Participation, there's going to be a variety of different discussion board posts. Includes taking the pretest and the post-test and participating in those discussion board posts. Pretest and post-test are used as a way for example, the pretest, a way for me to determine your level of understanding coming into the course. I can then compare that to the post-test to see how far you've come. At the same time, I will use the pretest along with the information sheet that you provide to create groups. I assign the groups based on that information, so I try to get the makeup of the groups just the way I want them. Additionally, each week there'll be a discussion question, and those discussion questions may be surveys, they may be pulling up academic articles and providing comments about those articles. Each one will be a little bit different, so read that specific discussion post to see what the requirements are. The discussion boards open up, each topic opens up at 12:01 a.m. on Monday, the week that particular topic is due, and closes at 11:59 the following Sunday. So other than that, you don't have access to it, so keep that in mind. I encourage you to participate early and not wait to the last second. There is a semester project. It's a group project. Again, I assign those groups based on your pretest and your information sheet. And basically, you're going to design a small decision support system. And I would encourage you to identify a member of the group that is currently working and might have something that they need to be able to make some sort of a determination with the decision support system. There's a variety of different examples, and there's some discussion of that later on. The exams, there's two exams. There's a midterm and a final exam. The final exam is comprehensive or cumulative, but the focus of it is on the stuff at the end of the semester, so everything after the midterm. Having said that, you can't simply do a brain dump because there will be content from before the midterm. So keep that in mind. The makeup of the course in terms of the weights of the various assignments, quizzes, etc. is here, and if you actually download the Word document, the Word syllabus, you can double click on this table, and the table is actually an embedded spreadsheet. Assuming that I've got all the formulas correct, you should be able to follow along and tell exactly where you are during the course of the semester. One of the things you'll see is 13 quizzes, 0 through 12. This number up here for your score on those quizzes actually will not populate. Why? Because I'm dropping the two lowest. So until you get 11 quizzes in place, it won't calculate that number. So I would recommend that you put in zeros for the remaining quizzes, or put in your average so far, or something of that nature, to guesstimate what your final quiz score is going to be. If you've had me before, one difference that you will also notice is this semester project. Before, my rough drafts have never been graded. Unfortunately, due to lack of participation, I've decided to start weighting them slightly. So the very first rough draft is only worth 25 points. The first draft is really just a way to make sure the team is working together and talking and headed in the right direction. The second revision is worth a little bit more, 75 points, and then the final revision is worth 200 points. So in total, the semester project is worth 300 points. The midterm is also worth 300 points, and then the final exam is worth 400 points. So the total is 1,520 points. You can see the course grading scale. The late work, I don't take it. Everything's already posted. You can work ahead. I don't take late work, so keep that in mind. Makeup exams, I don't take late work, so there are no makeup exams. If you have something that pops up, I can give you the midterm early potentially. Let me know, and we'll see what we can do. As far as the final exam, I can't do that. The university has a policy: the final exam must be taken during the final exam period. So if something pops up and you need to take the final exam early, the process is that you send me a written request documenting why you need to take it early and when, and I pass that on to the department chair. The department chair passes that on to the dean. So you can see it's kind of a long, laborious process. So if you need to take the final exam early, start that process ASAP and plan on the answer being no. There's never a guarantee. Student expectations. This is a grad class, so there should be no surprises there. I would tell you check Blackboard at least once a day, write professionally, etc. Academic honesty. You can see the official policy there. Essentially, if you cheat, I can tar and feather you. Disability accommodations. I'm not qualified to give you an accommodation. Go to the Office of Disability Services. They can give you information about that. They can provide me with that accommodation. Actually, they provide it to you as a student, and you have to provide it to me. But whatever accommodations they recommend are the ones that I will do. But I'm not qualified to award an accommodation to you. This is the most important part of the syllabus. This is our schedule, and though it's tentative and it can potentially change, that's very unlikely. I follow the schedule very, very closely. Unfortunately, some of these videos no longer work. Had to be removed for copyright infringement. So some of those no longer work. Many of them do. Check them out. Some of them are just for fun. For example, Mac killed my inner child. That's a funny video about Apple computers. But we list here on the left, we list the various topics that we're covering each week. On the right hand side for assignments, each assignment, unless otherwise noted, is due at 11:59 on Sunday of the week that it's assigned. So stuff that's due this week on 6/9 is the pretest, assignment 0, quiz 0, assignment 1, quiz 1, quiz 2, and DQ 0, discussion question 0. Also list the points associated with each topic, and you can see, so each week you can kind of keep track of where you are. I've also got important drop dates there. Hopefully that won't be an issue. The semester project guidelines. I give you very detailed guidelines about what I'm looking for. Structure of your report, executive summary, general background of the organization, discussion of the business problem, your solution, conclusions, appendices, etc. Team composition. Again, I will create the teams after the first week. I'll look at those discussions, or I'll look at that your pretest. I will look at your information sheet, and I will combine them. If you have an unproductive member of the team, let me know. We will figure it out. We can potentially fire that individual. That individual will then have a pretty significant task ahead of them. I don't simply take your word, the rest of the team's word for it that we need to kick that member out. I need good documentation, and we'll figure something out there. The semester project, again, go into a little bit more detail here. IRSP Word document. I want you to use Microsoft Project to be able to document the how your project is going to progress and what the plan is for you to complete the project. The very first stage, that's really what I'm wanting to do, the very first part of the semester project. That's really what I'm wanting. I'm really wanting to look for team cohesion, that it's headed in the right direction, that you've picked an appropriate project, that it's the appropriate scope, that you've developed your Microsoft project file, etc. For the second revision, I'm really looking for much more detail. It almost needs to be completed at that point in a rough draft form. So it's not completed, it's not polished, but it's close to being done. By the third revision, or second revision 2, the final revision, that's where you're going to clean up any little loose ends and really refine it and polish it off. How am I going to grade it? That's how I'm going to grade it right there. I tell you exactly the things I'm looking for, the different criteria: poor, or very poor, poor, average, good, and excellent. I score all this stuff. I combine that with your PowerPoint presentation that you will submit. You'll need to create some sort of a presentation that, whether it's in PowerPoint or YouTube or whatever, I need some sort of a presentation. Traditionally, that's been done using PowerPoint. with recorded narration. The slides auto-advance, and it's just like you're presenting it to me in class. And I can watch that to kind of get a summary of what's in the paper. Also, there's your peer evaluations. Your peer evaluations are very important. They directly affect you and your peers' grades. Something, again, if you've had me before, is slightly different this semester. If you score somebody a 1 or a 5, it's on a scale of 1 to 5. If you score them a 1 or a 5, you must provide narrative telling you why you scored them that way. Having said that, if they deserve a 1 or a 5, I want you to do that because, again, this directly impacts their grade. So be honest. And that's just the remainder of that rubric. Okay. Something else that's new this semester is our WEEP policy, writing error elimination policy. This is something that this department is trying to implement, and really the whole college is trying to move towards. And it's a policy that basically says the quality of writing needs to improve. And so if there are too many errors on a single page or too many errors throughout a document, grading will stop, the paper will be passed back to the individual or the group, and those errors will need to be taken care of. And you have a limited number of times that you can do that. So read through that, particularly if English is not your first language and you struggle. Please be aware of what some of the things that we're looking for, and take advantage of that writing section. And that's the remainder of the WEEP form. And then I'll just give you a list of various academic articles that you can take a look at. So that's pretty much it for our syllabus for introductions. I wanted to kind of do this with you just briefly. It's something we do in a face-to-face class, and I wanted to give you that opportunity to step through each point and draw your attention to the things that I thought were the more important things. So having said that, I'm looking forward to the semester and can't wait to get started. Take care.